Game day's here, I can hear the crowd. Turn on the lights, fans are cranked up and loud. Red or blue, we wear it proud. Yeah, we love our teams in this border town. Chiefs and Royals, Boo Mizzou, Rock Chalk, Jayhawk, KU. Hear that drum pounding in your feet. Yeah, you're marching to the beat of KC.
What is going on, YouTube? What is going on, Kansas City? And what is going on, everybody? And welcome to the beat of KC. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lucas Murphy, and holy smokes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to bring you this video for a few reasons. I got a little bit of mixed emotions because just like everybody, I guess we'll just go ahead and jump on in. Everybody saw the news today, and it broke, and it spread like an absolute wildfire. Obviously, Soren Petro from 810 WHB shared some news that he believes that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be present in a meeting with Topeka on Monday to really kind of push things forward with, obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs moving over to Kansas. Now, for me personally, and this is going to be a little bit different of a video, I kind of want to make sure I get my personal opinions out there just because I am a Kansan. I live in Kansas. I think this is a massive, massive move, and we're going to jump in and really provide a lot of detailed information around this. But right out the gate, I'm excited for this opportunity, but at the same time, there's a lot of emotion because I understand what Arrowhead is. I understand what has occurred in Arrowhead Stadium. I understand that there has been lifetime people who have owned seats and passed them down from generation to generation. I understand the accomplishments that have occurred inside Arrowhead Stadium, where it started, where it began, the losing seasons to the Super Bowl victories that have come back to Kansas City in that stadium, the banners that have been raised, the people, the players, there's so many things that really go into what Arrowhead actually is. And for that to kind of potentially be gone, it definitely hurts. But I think that can be said for anybody who relocates their stadium. That's just how it is. It's the evolution of sports. It's the evolution of really how the future of stadiums are going. And so I think that, yes, I'm really excited for the opportunity of a team that I passionately follow coming to the state that I'm in. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of historical value that's going to kind of go away. And I'm hoping that they carry some of that over into the new stadium. Obviously, they've mentioned turning it into a dome stadium, which would bring a lot of events and a lot of things that we've just not had here in Kansas City because of having an open air stadium and having, not a lot of, stuff built up around it, more entertainment around it. And so we're really going to jump in. So Kansas City Chiefs, potential move to Kansas, the legacy, the finance, and really voices shaping the decision. So after more than 6 decades on the Missouri side of the Kansas City Metropolitan, the Kansas City Chiefs are closer than ever to relocating their home to Kansas, a decision that could redefine the franchise's identity and reshape the regional landscape. What I'm going to do right now is just really give you a timeline and some of the things that have culminated in this process. So obviously, we're going to take it back to 1963, ladies and gentlemen. The Kansas City Chiefs decided to relocate from the Dallas area and establish roots in Kansas City in the Kansas City metropolitan area. 1972, Arrowhead Stadium opens in Kansas City, Missouri, becoming one of the NFL's most iconic venues and the Chiefs' permanent home. Now, I think that right there is such an impactful statement and really an impactful date. In 1972, Arrowhead Stadium would become what it is. Now, obviously, 2031 is the existing deadline. The Chiefs' lease at the Truman Sports Complex is scheduled to expire, setting a hard timeline for long-term stadium decisions. You really got to think about it. It's going to take some time to build a stadium, and so they have to make the decision. They can't keep putting it off, because the lease is going to be up. Either they renew the lease or they're done. So in April 2024, Jackson County voters rejected a sales tax extension that would have helped fund renovations for Arrowhead Stadium and a downtown ballpark for the Royals and the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, this vote significantly weakens Missouri's stadium funding leverage, but I really think, too, there's a lot of negative light on Jackson County voters. I, myself, who live in Kansas, 100% agree with them not voting for the renovations. The renovations were awful. Really, it seemed like they just kind of put something together just to satisfy, and the cost was a lot lower. If you're going to do it right. I think that's how I feel. And so I completely understand why Jackson County voters said, no, we're not going to do this. Now, mid-late 2024, Kansas lawmakers formally introduced the Star Bond legislation aimed at attracting professional sports franchises, including the Chiefs and the Royals, to Kansas City, Kansas. We've seen the Star Bonds in act. We've seen them used in a lot of things here in Kansas. In early 2025, the Chiefs confirmed they are exploring multiple stadium options in both Missouri and Kansas, including renovations, concepts, and entirely new builds. In spring 2025, Kansas legislation set an initial June 30th deadline for teams to commit to the Star Bond agreements, increasing pressure on franchise decision makers. And I think that was a good decision. I think it really kind of, that made them make a decision, or at least kind of put the pressure back on those teams. In summer of 2025, at the request of the Chiefs and the Royals, Kansas lawmakers extended the Star Bond deadline, signaling serious ongoing negotiations of mutual interest. Now, in fall 2025, reports emerged that Kansas's proposal could finance up to 70% of a new stadium cost, including infrastructure, surrounding development, and long-term economic incentives. I mean, that's intriguing. That's really kind of what I believe the Kansas City Chiefs are interested in. In December 2025, the New York Times, as well as The Athletic, as well as Sports Radio 810, reports that momentum has shifted towards Kansas, with state officials preparing for a decisive votes and final negotiations on potential new stadium complex in Kansas City, Kansas. In 2026 to 2027, which was projected, if approved, formal agreements, stadium design finalization, and site preparation would begin. So that really is kind of a culmination of events that have occurred. So at the heart of this saga is a dramatic competition between Missouri and Kansas to host the Chiefs and potentially the Royals. We've heard the Royals as well, potentially leaving, the Truman Sports Complex. They've been mentioned to go downtown. We've even heard North Kansas City. We've heard on the Kansas side coming over and going to really like where the Sprint campus, which is now T-Mobile. I mean, there's a lot of things with the Royals. I don't believe that they're going to be at the table. That's kind of the rumors too, is that they're not going to be, in these negotiations on Monday. It's strictly just going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. So with that being said, the Chiefs, and at the newly financed world-class stadium site just across the state line in Kansas City, Kansas. The crucial tool in the negotiation is those Star Bonds that we talked about, Kansas Sales Tax and Revenue Bond Program, which can finance a large share of the stadium construction cost. It's that magical time of the year again. The minute the boxes come out of storage and the first string of lights flickers on, everything just feels brighter. The smell of pine fills the house. The Christmas tree goes up, and suddenly, you're transforming your home into a full-blown holiday wonderland. Maybe you're climbing the ladder to hang lights on the roof, setting up those larger-than-life yard decorations, or turning the living room into the coziest place on earth. But sometimes, the Christmas spirit outgrows the space you're in. Whether you're dreaming of a bigger living room, for the perfect tree, a yard worthy of your holidays display, or simply a home that better fits your seasonal traditions, now might be the ideal time to find your dream home. Lisa Miller at Lynch Real Estate. With over 13 years of experience and licenses in both Kansas and Missouri, Lisa isn't just selling houses. She's helping you find a place to call home. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, looking to upsize, or selling your current home, Lisa makes the process smooth and stress-free. As a local expert, passionate about building lasting relationships, she ensures her clients feel confident and satisfied every step of the way. Don't wait. Your perfect home is just a call away. Contact Lisa today at 913-579-3246 or 913-369-3000 or visit lisamillersaleskc.com. Let Lisa Miller at Lynch Real Estate help you start your next chapter. So if you're ready to make a move that matches your holiday joy, Lisa Miller is here to help you find that place where your Christmas magic can truly come to life. Kansas legislators initially set a deadline of June 30th, 2025 for teams to lock in a deal for these incentives. After an intense discussion and planning, that deadline was extended through the end of 2025. And it does sound like to me that Kansas put a hard deadline on that. And I don't believe that they'll probably extend past that. So that's why this is really kind of coming to fruition right now, because, I mean, last I checked, we're getting pretty close to Christmas and the new year is going to be here before we know it. So with that being said, obviously after the intense discussions and planning, the deadline was extended to allow more time of the negotiations due diligence, offering the Chiefs a clear path to the stadium deal in Kansas. Now, in public statements tied to this extension request, Chiefs President Mark Donovan described the opportunity as historic. In a letter supporting a legislative deadline extension in Kansas, Donovan wrote that the team saw a chance for a world-class dome stadium, new team headquarters, a state-of-the-art practice facility, and a vibrant mixed-use and entertainment district. Kansas legislators and executives have embraced the Chiefs' vision, posting the new stadium would enhance tourism, jobs, and really the economic activity as part of a larger development zone. On the Missouri side, Kansas City Mayor Quentin Lucas responded to the extension push by stressing that the community's deep roots in the franchise and continued work to keep the team within Missouri. He also asserted that Kansas City officials have offered a unique, comprehensive, and unmatched offer to secure the future of both the Kansas City Chiefs and the Royals downtown, that civic leaders remain engaged in negotiations. And so when you really look at this, why is this such an impact? The Chiefs' lease at GEHA Field, which is Arrowhead Stadium, part of the Truman Sports Complex, extends only through January 2031, which we talked about. A substantial renovation or replacement is needed to ensure long-term viability, and voters in Jackson County, Missouri rejected the sales tax referendum in April of 24. That would have funded stadium upgrades, really complicating Missouri's bid to keep the team. With Kansas offering the star bonds that could finance a large percentage of the stadium's cost, the league's business leaders and local politicians see an attractive alternative. Kansas's program provides significant public backing while keeping the team within the same metropolitan area. And we know Mark Donovan came out and said, together we have an opportunity to bring the National Football League to Kansas, anchored by world-class dome stadium, which we talked about, the new headquarters, a state-of-the-art practice facility, and really that entertainment district which is what they're looking for. I think the biggest thing too is you're upgrading the practice facility, which we've seen people complain about. We've seen, when they send out I guess it's a survey, and you see players and people discuss those surveys, you see where the Kansas City Chiefs rank amongst a lot of that, and they need upgrades. It's been well known that they need to upgrade. Really, I think the fan reaction and the community impact, local sentiment has been mixed. Many Chiefs fans deeply value Arrowhead Stadium's legendary atmosphere and history, and that's really where I kind of began in this entire video. I get it. It's the loudest stadium in the NFL. It's the loudest outdoor stadium in the NFL. It's everything that comes with what Kansas City has made and turned into Arrowhead Stadium. The tailgating, the events, what it really transpired. I mean, like I stated in the beginning, ladies and gentlemen, the fact that there's been so many things that have occurred inside that stadium, the historical value is going to potentially just be gone. And I think that that's the hardest part for me to kind of swallow, is the fact that that is now going to be transitioning to something else. And that's really the hard part. Outside of that, ladies and gentlemen, you're getting a brand new stadium. I've heard anywhere from $3.4 billion. You're talking about a new practice facility. You're talking about economic growth with the entertainment district and the ability to have things surrounding a stadium. You're going to get things that you just have never had, like March Madness, potentially a Final Four. You're talking about WWE events. Maybe potentially it would be pretty sweet to see like a SummerSlam, or maybe, who knows, even a WrestleMania. I mean, there's a lot of things that could be a Super Bowl. We didn't even mention the Super Bowl. I mean, Kansas City would be a perfect place to have a Super Bowl. So I really think that those are things to take into consideration. Major concerts, getting back Taylor Swift, and getting back major concerts that maybe we've missed out on because we just can't do it. So really, what's next? And that's really kind of the big thing. And I think Monday is really going to be an important time because the Chiefs supposedly are going to be at the table with the officials. And so as of late 2025, the Chiefs, state leaders, and local government continue to negotiate. Well, nothing is final, and that's the biggest thing. There is, something could come in where they decide, hey, this just isn't going to happen. So nothing is really final until contracts are signed. The extended star bond deadline and ongoing discussion signals that Kansas offers remain the most viable path towards a new stadium and a home, one that could be completed well before the team's Arrowhead lease expires. So the coming weeks and months will likely see public testimony from additional civic leaders, final decisions from franchise ownership, and potentially voter input on future Missouri funding measures for fans and community members. It just depends if that even gets that far. I mean, the biggest thing, again, comes to Monday. Sounds like they're heading to Topeka and they're going to have this thing really talked about, really kind of ironed out, hopefully. And a decision probably could be made on that Monday. So we'll just have to see. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a tough video for me because I get the sentiment. I know tons of people who have held, season tickets. I know, again, what Arrowhead Stadium means. I mean, it's the environment, it's the tailgating. There's so much that just goes into it. But at the same time, it's time for new. It's time for a new stadium. It's time to bring really what Kansas City is about. The barbecue, the fans, like taking it to another level. So I appreciate y'all checking out this video. Hopefully this provided you at least some information. Hopefully you got something from it. I'm excited to see what happens. I really am. Either way, we're still going to have the Kansas City Chiefs in the metropolitan area. We're still going to have the Kansas City Royals in the metropolitan area. It just depends on which side of the state they will be on in Kansas City. That is going to be the big thing. Again, I appreciate y'all. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. And I end every video the exact same way. Have a good day.